All right, so guys, I've got here 36 red flags to look out for in women. And yes, I know it's a random number. I know it's a lot of red flags. But in 2025, there's a tons of red flags in women. And majority of women do have these red flags. In actual fact, majority of women in 2025 don't make for good wives, good girlfriends, or good mothers. And I hope these 36 red flags to look out for are going to help you navigating in dating and how to move when finding a great woman in your life.
Well, sit, children. Let me give you the subject of the day.
So, guys, I know these are generalities, and look, they might not all of them might mean that this woman is a bad woman, you know? These are just generalities which in life you should be skeptical of, right? When you are dating, you should be skeptical of any woman. You know, you should ask questions, you should vet her, literally like a job interview. That's exactly how I treat women, yeah? And in fact, I think that's how women should treat men. I think that's how we should treat each other. I think both parties should be treating each other like a job interview, especially women. Because the difference is, with a man, you know, you can go out there and get to know a woman, fuck her, and if you don't want to take her seriously, you know, you just put her back in the streets and she goes and dates again. And, you know, that doesn't really deteriorate your pair bonding and doesn't diminish your ability to go find a partner or woman in the future, right? However, the other way around, women should vet men a lot better. You know, they shouldn't go off chemistry. They shouldn't sleep with a man pretty soon. They should try and long it out as much as possible. But, you know, I don't give out information to women. Why? Because women would rather hear comfortable lies than uncomfortable truths. And men would rather hear uncomfortable truths than comfortable lies. So I don't give no content for women because they simply don't want to fucking listen. They're going to do whatever they're going to do anyways. So guys, we're going to start off 36 red flags to look for in women. Number 1, they date scammers or trappers. And when I mean trappers, you know, not so much weed guys, but especially guys who move hard food. You know what I'm saying, you know? So guys who move hard food, trappers or scammers, definitely a red flag to look out for. If a woman dates a trapper or dates a scammer, that woman probably doesn't value morals and ethics in life. So definitely stay clear of those types of women. Next up, a woman who is chronically single, especially as she gets into her late 20s. You know, if she's over 25 and she's been chronically single for a very long time, you know, she doesn't get into relationships, she just has loads of casual affairs, it's probably signs that she's promiscuous or guys don't value her in long-term situations. And for that reason, I do say, guys, stay clear of those types of women. Okay. Next up, number 3, which ties to number 4 as well, is she has main character syndrome. So number 3 is she has main character syndrome. And number 4 is that she comes from money. And the reason I say those kind of go with each other is when a woman comes from money, a lot of times her dad treated her like a princess. And let me tell you, that's actually a positive. But when the father or the masculine figure in the family treats the daughter like a princess, but then doesn't teach her how to treat a great man, then then what happens is she becomes very, very self-entitled. And a woman who's self-entitled, a woman with main character syndrome, a woman that doesn't want to serve her husband, especially a great man in her life, big red flag, guys. Stay clear of these types of women. If she has main character syndrome, she comes from big amounts of money and she thinks that life evolves around her. Guys, stay away from that type of woman. That is definitely a red flag. Okay, so number 5, because we did number 4 with number 3. So number 5 is that she doesn't have a masculine figure in her life, whether it's a father or a brother. And why? Because when a woman doesn't have a masculine figure, which is a brother or father in her life, or even a grandfather, what happens is she lacks respect for male authority. And then she is more prone to talk over you, disagree with you. And, disagreeing with someone is okay, even though, disagreeable women tend to be very masculine. However, she'll be more obnoxious, rude towards you, and just not respect you as you being her man and her leader. So, guys, if that woman comes from a single mum, that's another reason why to stay clear, because she doesn't have no male authority in her life to tell her when she's doing wrong. And women don't keep other women accountable. And I've noticed this even amongst mothers and daughters, So, guys, if she doesn't have a masculine figure in her life, brother or father, grandfather, stay clear of that woman. That woman is a red flag, most likely. Number 6. Number 6 is women who are fans of whores. And there's lots of whores in the world. I'm talking all different types of whores. Whether she likes Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian, that family in general. Whether she likes listening to women, whether she likes listening to rappers and women like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Ice Spice, and any of these 304s. And even dating coaches like that dumbass side chick, Sadia Khan. All women that listen to any of these types of women, whether it's a promiscuous woman who's meant to be a dating coach, who's a side chick, a glorified side chick, or whether it's a rapper who thinks she's an independent boss chick, whore, or even whores themselves like the Kardashian family who actually made it of sexualizing themselves. If Kim never brought out that tape with Ray J, would she really be as successful as she is now? Absolutely not. So yeah, guys, stay clear of women that listen to any of these types of women. Completely clear of any of those women. Next up, we have number 7. The 7th red flag to look out for in women is women that take no accountability. And I've noticed this is majority of women. Majority of women don't like to take accountability. And that's why I say they'll rather hear comfortable lies rather than uncomfortable truths. And that's why they even listen to king simps like Yaki and Waken and Chris GQ Perry. Haven't you noticed women, majority of them love to listen to those types of fucking king simps who are just going to keep women not being accountable, give them comfortable lies, tell them everything's men's fault. And these types of women, if you don't notice, they're always going to blame all their exes. It was never their fault. Not one of their relationship or any of their encounters was their fault. It was always the man's fault. These types of women who take no responsibility, that don't want to take no accountability, they listen to Yaki Awaken, they listen to Chris GQ Perry. Guys, stay away from those types of women. Definitely red flags. Number 8, the 8th red flag to look out for in women is any woman that have substance abuse, whether that's alcohol, addicted to even weed. And I know I'm a smoker, but even addicted to weed, vaping, which for me is even worse than smoking weed constantly. Any substances, guys, that they can't go without, that they crave over, especially like vaping for me is a disgusting habit for a woman. It's constantly sitting there vaping that Chinese cheap liquid, that's fucking contaminating everyone's lungs. Women who vape and have heavy substance, any substance abuse, stay clear of those types of women. Definitely red flags. The 9th red flag to look out for when dating women is, this one should be a given, honestly. This one should be just common sense. Any woman that's done any types of sex work, any woman that's done any type of sex work should be a blatant and obvious red flag to look out for in women. And I mean everything. I mean OnlyFans, obviously pornography and prostitution. Well, it all kind of comes under prostitution, right? So even OnlyFans, cam work, selling feet pictures, all of that shit. Fuck, I would even say bottle girls and models. Any job that the woman sexualizes herself. Guys, stay clear of those types of women. And yes, I do put bottle girl and the modeling under sex work as well. Any type of job where the woman has to sexualize herself for her to sell, for me, is sex work. So guys, stay clear of any types of women that do any type of sex work. The 10th red flag to look out for when dating women is any women that love to party, you know? And, you know, when I say party, I mean clubs, bars, even weekends away with the girls, you know? Going on travels with just her girls. I don't even give a fuck how long she's been with her man for. That is single woman behavior. Yeah, unacceptable. As a man, let's be honest, no man wants his woman going on weekends away with the girls. As a man who is single and as a man who knows how women are when they're alone, I'll tell you, a lot of the shit goes down in these weekends away with the girls. It's definitely single woman behavior, and it's definitely signs of a promiscuous woman and a woman that does not respect her man. Why would a woman ever want to be in that environment where single people are? And I mean that for everything. Weekends away with the girls, clubs, and bars. All of that is an absolute red flag. Number 11. A red flag to look out for in a woman is a woman who is over-traveled, you know? And, you know, a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, bro, you know, what do you mean, man? Like, you know, traveling's not that bad. Does travelling mean a woman's a whore, you know, off the get-go? Not all the time. Doesn't always mean they're a whore. You know, maybe their dads funded it. Maybe they went out with family. However, majority of the time, women do not pay for their own stuff. And when they are going on these travels, yeah, a lot of the time, it's a man paying for it. Yeah. So look out for those types of women. Women who are always in a different hotel, always on a different boat, you know, on a different flight. Those women, they move like whores. They are secret 304s. So guys, any woman that's over-traveled, majority of the time is going to be a major red flag. And I'll tell you what to look out for. Go on her Instagram, look at her highlight reels, and you'll see there. If her highlight reel says, you know, Dubai, Miami, LA, fucking all different types, places, all different parts of Europe. Guys, that woman is more than likely being paid or having all her expenses paid for by different rich men. And that woman is definitely a red flag to look out for. You know, I do think that women should look out for financial stability, but to carry themselves like glorified prostitutes, that's a whole different story. Okay, number 12. A woman who can't cook, clean, or has no housewife traits. You know, look, if she can't cook, already she doesn't have no passion in being a housewife and being a mother. You know, every woman that I've ever met who is truly conservative, traditional, and actually wants to be a mother and have a family, they have a passion for cooking. Yeah, they like, because it's a feminine trait to have. Same as cleaning as well. But if you're not getting yourself ready to be a great wife, then why the fuck do you deserve a great husband? Give me one reason why. You fucking don't. Yeah? So guys, red flag to look out for is a woman who can't cook or clean, and she doesn't have no motherly or no housewife traits to bring to the table. That woman will be a liability and not an asset. Stay clear of those types of women. The 13th red flag to look out for in women is women that love drama and love toxicity. And this goes for majority of Latinas, yeah? I've noticed that in my personal life, especially Latin women love that bit of, you know, drama and toxicity amongst the relationship. They think it keeps it fun and exciting. And let me tell you guys how it is, yeah? Maybe Jose and Edgar might accept that stuff. Yeah, they might think it's exciting. Maybe a Mexican guy who has a normal 9-to-5 job. But any Mexican dude that is high value and earns a lot of money, yeah? Or any dude who's high value in general, any successful man is never going to accept that shit, yeah? Successful men battle the world every single day. Do you really think they want to come home and have to argue with you? No, absolutely not. In fact, successful men would rather go for a girl who's less beautiful, but, you know, more peaceful, rather than going for a girl who's more beautiful and less peaceful. So guys, stay clear of, and I don't mean all Latin women. There are some great Latin women out there, but in general, stay clear of women that love toxicity, and to argue and drama within the relationship. Those women, they're going to make yourself a headache. They're going to make your life hell. And those women are not worth it at all. Absolute red flags. Number 14, women who believe in feminism and its ideology. You know, progressive. They want the whole 50-50 thing. Those types of women you want to stay clear of. And it's funny to me because even progressive women, you know, liberal and leftist women who say they want, you know, they don't mind a 50-50 relationship. When it really comes down to it, they don't even want it themselves. And I've even seen TikToks and clips of liberal women saying every single man that they find attractive happens to be conservative. Well, duh, that comes within being traditional, right? People who are conservative happen to be a lot more traditional. You guys want a provider and a protector? You're not going to find that from a liberal, man. And a woman who thinks like that and has that kind of feminist ideology, stay clear of that kind of woman, yeah? Any woman that thinks that women and men are equal, do not date that woman. And yeah, like I mentioned with that one, all women are hypergamous. And, you know, you guys are probably thinking, what is hypergamy? Well, hypergamy is when women want to date up. They want to date a man who's taller than them. They want to date a man who's stronger than them. They want to date a man who's more financially free than them, a man who's more knowledgeable and more smart than them, a man who's going to teach them, not a man that they're going to have to teach. The 15th red flag to look out for are any black women that listen to Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar. Any of those black queens that listen to that black supremacy stuff and that, you know, victim mindset stuff. Because, you know, I've dated a lot of black girls in my time, but all the black girls that I date, they seem to be a bit more on the Candice Owens sort of vibe, you know. They're not really that much with the black culture. You know, they don't love hip hop too much. They don't call themselves bad bitches and independent women. And simply, they do respect male authority. These are the types of women, these black queens that listen to Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed, which majority of them don't want to take no accountability. Stay clear of these types of women. One, you're going to get your ass beaten up. And two, they make for absolutely terrible wives. So that is my 15th red flag to look out for in women. Number 16. My 16th red flag to look out for in women is any woman that hides her phone, puts her phone on silent while she's with you. Like you just notice her phone never rings when she's with you. Turns her phone upside down or puts it on silent. Any of those, red flag. She's entertaining other men. She's simply got her phone on silent or hiding it because other men might be messaging her. And obviously, that is an absolute red flag. So guys, like I said, stay clear of women that turn their phones upside down, put it on silent. Their phones never ring when they're with you. Like, why would their phone never ring when they're with you? You know? I'll tell you why. It's because they're entertaining other men and they're worried that those men might message or text her while she's with you. Okay, number 17. 17th red flag to look out for in women is a woman who's dedicated to her career. Let me tell you guys something. A red pill that you guys need to swallow. Pause. Yeah? Any woman that's dedicated to her career will never be dedicated to you. It's either she picks a family and she wants to raise children, and that's what comes first in her life, or what comes in her life first is a career. Yeah. And if career is her primary interest in her life, if her career is her main dedication and her, you know, main flex in her career, then guys, stay clear of these types of women. Career women do not make for good wives. They do not make for good girlfriends. They don't even make for good mothers. For me, a great mother is going to have to spend mass amounts of time with her daughter, yeah, or her son, yeah? So guys, a woman dedicated to her career, instead of dedicating to having a family, stay clear of those types of women. Absolute red flags. Number 18. My 18th red flag is women that base their decisions on astrology. They use spirituality to avoid accountability, and they detach all that stuff from logic, you know? They don't go with logic, and they just go with what the stars and the moon's telling them. Stay clear of those types of women. Absolute red flags. The 19th red flag to look out for women, which unfortunately is a lot of women, is women that are very progressive, liberal, and, you know, would call themselves leftists. Because these types of women, they tend to not respect male authority. They tend to have that victim mindset when it comes to being a woman. They just don't align in traditional values when it comes to relationships. That's the facts with progressive and liberal and leftist kind of women. A good sign to look out for a leftist and a liberal type of woman and to avoid her is, women that dye their hair blue, more than likely going to be a leftist. Stay clear of her. If she uses pronouns, not only is she a red flag, but she's also semi-retarded. I don't understand where we live in a world where you have to put her or she on your profile for me to know that you're a woman. Well, shit, I guess with all this fucking trans bullshit, I guess people have to. But, it's crazy the times we live in. So that kind of women who are leftist, woke ideology, stay clear of those types of women. They're not going to make for good wives, girlfriends, or mothers. And number 20, my 20th red flag to look out for in women are women that have suffered mass amounts of trauma in their past, or, they regularly go to therapists, or maybe they have disorders like, bipolar disorder. Look, it's unfortunate, right? Am I saying to stay clear of women that are mentally unstable? Yeah. Shit, I am. Yeah. Of course I am. Stay clear of any woman that have any mental illnesses. It's not your job to take them on. It's going to bite you in your ass. And I would even say even women that have been through mass amounts of trauma and go to therapy regularly, stay clear of those types of women. Try and get a woman that's been through as less trauma as possible, and at least a woman that's completely healed. My 21st red flag to look out for in women is her being overweight, not wanting to change being overweight, and doesn't understand that beauty is her primary value as a woman. Does that mean only beauty is your only value as being a woman? No. Obviously being a great mother, having housewife traits, being a good person, being kind. There's a lot of different traits in being a great woman. But your primary value as a woman is your beauty, because it doesn't matter even if you're a virgin or you're not promiscuous at all, if you have great wifeable traits, if you have great motherly traits, if you're just a great woman all round. If you're fat and you're unattractive, you're not even going to get your foot into the door. So guys, women, listen to this as well. Your primary value is your beauty. Attraction is the first trigger that we see when we look at you, right? We don't get to know you first. First, we see how attractive you are. Then we get to know you. So guys, avoid women that are overweight, don't want to change that, don't go to the gym, because women who don't go to the gym just don't understand their value as being a woman, and they lack discipline as well. And I like girls who like to keep fit, go to the gym, and for me, that's a major green flag. So guys, major red flag is women that don't go to the gym, are overweight, and don't think they have to change. Tortes, fat shaniquas, fat white chicks, all of them. If you're fat as a woman, it's completely unacceptable. In fact, being fat in general is unacceptable, but especially as a woman. Because as a man, you can make up with other things. We've seen men like Rick Ross, Jonah Hill. If you're funny, you have charm, you have status, you can make up with other things being a man. But as a woman, really and truly, you can't really make up if you're fat and ugly as a woman. So yeah, guys, that's my 21st red flag in women. Number 22, the 22nd red flag to look out for in women are women who have single women friends and women friends that are promiscuous. So guys, I do really believe in the saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. And that is definitely relevant amongst men and women. If you hang around with all successful men and you hang around with 5 successful men, you're going to be the 6th successful man. If you hang around with 5 bums, you're going to be the 6th bum. If you're the 6th girl in your group and all your girlfriends are single and promiscuous, you're most likely going to be a slut and single for the rest of your life as well. So guys, I do believe in that saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. And it's an absolute big red flag and a bad sign if a woman, all her friends are single, all her friends go partying, and none of her friends have any boyfriends or husbands. An absolute red flag. So stay clear of women that only have single friends. Okay, number 23. Women who have large amounts of piercings and tattoos. And does that go for every woman who has a large amount of tattoos and piercings? No. A majority of women who do have a large amount of tattoos and piercings, they're very impulsive. They go off how they feel. They're probably women that can't be bored or can't have an argument in a relationship and bounce back from it and work through it. They're very impulsive. They go off their feelings. And those types of women are definitely women you need to watch out for. And they can, in fact, be big red flags. So guys, women who have a large amount of piercings and tattoos. Number 24, women who have heavy debt and are financially irresponsible. And look, majority of women are financially irresponsible. We already know that 3/4 of the debt in the world is created by women. They are the largest consumer basis. However, especially if you coach her and you're giving her great information and you're leading that relationship and you see that she's not financially responsible and she's going to be a liability over being an asset in the future, guys, major red flag. Especially if she spends all her money on irrelevant stuff like Louis Vuitton bags, Chanel bags, and she hyper loves designer clothing. Definitely a red flag. So guys, definitely a red flag. Any women that are in heavy debt and are financially irresponsible. The 25th red flag to look out for in women are women that have a massive or even a big social media presence, whether that's on TikTok, even YouTube, especially on Instagram, which I would say is a glorified dating app. These types of women, definitely red flags. They're always seeking outside validation. And these women would even get into relationships and keep their social medias going, right? And why do they do that? They do that because they want to have their options open. Because women always have someone in the background waiting, unfortunately for us, yeah? Women, and it comes from their biological needs to always look out for their backs. That's why even a lot of women go and follow their careers, because in the back of their minds, they're like, oh, well, what if a man leaves me? Even though men don't ever leave women. Very rarely do men leave women unless they do fuck shit. Definitely a big red flag. As I said, a woman with a big social media presence, a woman who's not willing to delete her social media for you because she's keeping those options open, and simply she's seeking for outside validation. So guys, stay clear of women with big social media presence. The 26th red flag to look out for in women are women with certain job titles. And that's a variety of different jobs. Teachers, flight attendants, nurses, businesswomen and CEOs, any types of entertainers, whether they're actresses or they're dancers or they're singers, any of those types of jobs are red flags, and they won't make for great women when it comes to relationships or marriage. Those types of women, they're career first women. A nursing job and a flight attendant is definitely a job of a promiscuous woman. She's always on the go. Yeah, they work hard, play hard, and they're never in one city where they can raise a family and create a relationship. So guys, look out for those types of women, especially the entertainers as well. You've seen it in the celebrity world where all these singers, actresses, their relationships hardly ever last. Why? Because in their head, they are the main character. Everything evolves around them. And that kind of attitude just won't do well in a relationship. Number 27. The 27th red flag to look out for when it comes to dating women is any woman that calls herself independent or a bad bitch. These women tend to be masculine, promiscuous, obnoxious, loud, self-entitled, and absolutely make for terrible wives. So guys, any woman that calls herself independent, calls herself a bad bitch, stay clear of those types of women. Majority of the time, they are masculine and they're whores. Stay clear. Number 28. The 28th red flag to look out for in women are women who are addicted to their phones. They have short attention spans. They can't really have deep conversations. Everything's surface level. These types of women who are addicted to their phones, they normally have other bad traits and habits that come along with it. And being addicted to your phone is definitely a sign of having short attention span, being impulsive, and not being able to have deep conversations or even see a deeper vision in having a family and creating an empire within your relationship. Those types of women, stay clear of those types of women. Absolute red flags. Number 29. The 29th red flag to look out for in women is a woman who can't listen or doesn't listen. You know, a woman who can't or doesn't listen, absolute red flag. And it's wild to me that in 2025, women turn around, they say they want a leader, a provider and a protector who's going to guide them and lead them to greatness. However, they don't even want to listen. And those types of women are the worst types of women. How the fuck are you going to ask for a masculine leader, but then you're not going to be submissive, obey, and listen to your man and actually follow? You know, you don't want to follow and listen, but you want a strong leader. How the fuck does that make sense? It just doesn't align with each other. And those types of women are absolute red flags. Stay clear. Number 30 is women who have mass amounts of surgery, especially BBLs. One, I do think that's gross for a woman to have a BBL, and even surgery in general. One, it's not healthy for you. Two, yeah, that's right, guys. It has long-term health issues with women who get silicone put inside of their bodies. Yeah. And, you know, they get bad backs from all of this stuff. And it's simply not natural. And let me tell you guys something, which I don't know why more guys are not saying this, but men would rather have a natural body that's not as good than a better body that's not natural. For example, I'd rather have smaller tits than fake tits that are massive. I'd rather have a girl with a smaller ass than a fatter ass, which is a BBL. And girls, stop being fucking lazy. You can get in the gym. You know, my ex-girlfriend, before I met her, she had no ass. She was skinny, like literally like a ironing board. She had no ass at all. And, you know, my ex has got a fat ass. She's had a fat ass for years. Why? She put blood, sweat and tears into the gym. She went in the gym, did her deadlifts, did her squats, did her lunges, and she was able to grow and create an amazing body as a woman. So guys, definitely a woman who has a BBL, signs of her being lazy, yeah, signs of her wanting immediate gratitude. And simply, honestly, majority of women that do have BBLs are whores. So guys, stay clear of those types of women. Number 31 is any woman that has Snapchat. I'm sorry, but if you're a grown-ass woman, even 18 plus, and you have Snapchat, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? First of all, I just see it as a promiscuous platform. And it's very, very, childlike platform. And I just don't see why any traditional or good girl would ever have a Snapchat. It's not like great information's put on Snapchat. It's not like TikTok where you can see your political content, or X where you can see your political content, or Instagram where majority of people have it. Snapchat for me is just a lame platform, which, you know, I simply don't understand. And I really see it as girls who do sex work are whores or little girls. So guys, any girls that have Snapchat, absolute red flags. The 32nd red flag to look out for in women is women that don't like animals. And, you know, I know this one, you're probably thinking, well, why, bro? Like, you know, you can't just put everyone in a box like that. Well, I've noticed that majority of the time, women don't like animals. They tend to lack in empathy and being kind and gentle and being soft. Majority of women that I've met who are soft and gentle and feminine, they love animals. They, they don't really want to see any animal dying or being in a situation where it's being hurt. And for me, that is definitely a red flag. A woman that has no empathy for animals, no empathy for humans in general as well. So definitely a red flag to look out for. My 33rd red flag to look out for in women are women who have male friends. Listen, I don't care how long you've known that man for, whether you went to primary school with him, high school with him, college, family, friends. I don't care how long you've fucking known this guy for. We all know as men that all men are always friends with women to eventually sleep with them or be with them, you know? And women who don't understand this, they just don't live in reality, yeah? And they just don't understand that platonic friendship just doesn't exist amongst the two sexes. Men are always friends with women in order to wait for one day to fuck them or to be with them. And women are only friends with men because they literally get resources out of it, or they get attention, or, you know, they go out to eat and, you know, they get protection and providing at the date. So So look, I always say being friends with a woman absolutely gives you no benefits. In fact, only the benefits come from the woman's point of view. And it's definitely a red flag. A woman who has male friends, especially if you're dating her and she's not willing to drop those male friends, an absolute red flag. Number 34. My 34th red flag to look out for in women are women who are extroverts. Women that love to talk too much, love to show how much they know, or, want to challenge a man. Those types of women, they don't make for good women. They don't make for good wives. They don't make for good girlfriends. And honestly, it's best you stay clear of those types of women. I personally love introverts. The quieter the woman, the better. Even in Latin culture, they have that saying, I don't know if I'm going to say it correctly, but calladita te miras de bonita. I think it's something like that. But it basically says the woman is prettier when she's quieter. And that's absolutely facts. Men don't like women who are loud, obnoxious, talk too much. And definitely, it depends on the situation, right? If I'm alone with my woman, I don't mind my woman talking a lot and having a deep conversation with me. But if she talks in general too much and, she's not peaceful and she wants to get involved in the conversations between you and your boys, basically an extrovert. If a woman's an extrovert, it's probably a bad sign. It's probably signs that she's probably masculine, and it's best to stay clear of those types of women. So, number 35 is women that are not kind to servers. Women who are not kind to servers, the same as men who are not kind to servers. Absolute red flags. Those types of people in general, self-entitled, they have egos, they think they're above people, and they simply don't make for good humans, let alone relationships or husbands or wives. Women who are not kind to servers, not kind to, public servants, those types of women, stay clear of those types of women. They're rude, they're obnoxious, and even if they're kind to you, all it takes is you to piss them off one day. And guess what? You're going to get exactly the same treatment that server did. Stay clear of those types of women. Definite red flags. And the last one, the last red flag to look out for in women, the 36th red flag to look out for in a woman is women that take ages to reply to you on message. And I get why women do it. Women do it because honestly, they have low IQ, majority of them. Majority of them are retards and they don't understand that women and men are the opposite. Women like to be kept on their toes. That's why men take long to reply back on a message because, it keeps you more excited. It keeps the ball rolling and simply you guys like it. Men do not like that shit. In fact, if a woman replies to me 4 or 5 hours later, I simply will never reply to her again. And I find it majorly disrespectful. Those types of women tend to have too many guys in the DMs. They speak to too many men. They have short attention spans. And those types of women are most likely not going to make for great wives. So guys, if she takes ages to reply to you, lock her off, don't entertain her, and get rid of that bitch. Yeah? And if she replies fast and she's very keen, it's probably a great sign. It's signs that she's really into you and signs that she's not talking to 1,000 other dudes. That was all my biggest red flags. But me doing this red flags thing, I'm telling you guys, have higher standards and boundaries. Especially the more successful you are, the more attractive you are as a man all round, have higher standards and boundaries, guys. Yeah? It's only women that demonize our standards and boundaries while they have loads themselves. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, like and save all the shorts we do. Comment on all the shorts as well. We've got tons of work coming out. Streaming on Wednesday, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.